President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has failed as a commander-in-chief. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has failed as number one politician in this country. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has failed as number one Democrat in this country. Because look at what has happened to our elections, or look at what they have the mess that they have made of the results of the elections we are going to have. Look at the mess we are having in terms of insecurity. Look at the mess we are having in terms of giving democracy itself a good name, so that people will be proud of democracy. Is it National Assembly you look at? And he handpicked and put the managers there, the principal officers of National Assembly.
You see, mathematically speaking, electoral pathway to defeating APC and President Tinubu?
No, but do we have a level playing field in our democracy, in our elections? Do we have? No.
So what you're saying is that the election is won and lost already?
No, it's not won and lost. My only fear is we don't end up with anarchy. That's the only fear I have. Because there is a limit to anything that you want to do to the people. We will not lose democracy. Because people can resist. People have that, capability and natural tendency, to resist. And they will resist when they are pushed to the wall.
Our guest today is Engineer Yabagi Sani. Nice to have you on the program. And let's get right into it without wasting further time. With the concurrent passage of the Electoral Reform Act by the National Assembly just a couple of days back, regardless of the hue and cry of Nigerians, civil society organizations, opposition political parties, and the rest of them, they still inserted this curious proviso of manual collation of results in addition to electronic transmission of results real time. What does this say about 2027 presidential polls? Is it a foregone conclusion? And where do we go from here, in your opinion?
Well, it's really sad that people that are supposed to protect the interests of the generality of Nigerians who elected, I'm talking about the National Assembly members now, decided to do what everybody knows is against the wishes of the people, because I'm yet to hear or see one individual, Nigerian, who supports the continuation of the daylight robbery called election, which is what we had in 2023. I have not met one yet. So therefore, what it tells us is that they are not there for the people. And history definitely will not be kind to them. Because people were looking forward to a situation where our elections will be determined by votes, not by court decisions. And people were also looking for a way by which our election can be traceable. You can track it. You can defend it. It will be credible. But the situation you have today is that it's anybody's wishes, whatever you wish to have, the opportunity is created. Because there's no other way people can say it than to say, we don't want a discretionary scenario whereby individuals will influence the outcome of decisions, collectively or individually. We know that anything that is done manually naturally suffers from two things. You either have environmental error or you have human error. And in a situation where the stakes are so high, like what you have in elections, if there's any place or anything that you need to have a watertight system that can guarantee credibility, reliability, traceability, verifiability, I think it is in conducting elections where leaders are elected. So it beats one's imagination that people will do with the kind of audacity that the National Assembly members, behaved, from the Senate to the House of Rep. It wasn't different. But I am not surprised. I'm not surprised because the officers of both chambers, presiding officers of both chambers, were handpicked by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He picked them himself and made them elected by all means. The end justified the means. And they are now the National Assembly. So what you have as the checks and balances in the system as intended by the Constitution has been already made nonsense of, because the legislature is supposed to be the eyes of the people on whatever the executive is doing. And the judiciary is the one that will now interpret the law where there is some misgivings, crisis or whatever. Then you go to judiciary, who will now interpret and say, this is what the law means. And it is. But unfortunately for us, like we all know, or we have seen, we can't claim not to have seen it. No, it's that judiciary has become a marketplace. It's to you according to how much you can bring. That is procured. Judgment is no longer, delivered to the person that deserves it, but it's to the person who can pay. So, you see, this is putting our democracy in danger. It has put us in a very precarious situation. If you remember correctly, in 2023, at the collection center, we came to a situation where we almost lost this democracy.
Yeah.
Almost lost it. God used me to intervene. I stood up as the chairman of IPAC, and I said, Mahmoud, who was the INEC chairman then, should go ahead and conclude this process so that we will still have democracy. And whoever is not happy can have a recourse, because it was in the law that established the process, isn't it? So it wasn't that one was doing it for any mundane sin or some inducement, or no. It was because I could see that the danger that we were going to lose democracy. Because if, like Senator Dino Melayo wanted, that we should insist on the IRM, that INEC should take their records from IRM, and most of the parties were ready to insist on that, what do you think would have happened? We would have come to a dead end, and what next? We don't know. What will be the fate of democracy, and what kind of government are we going to have? In our constitution, there's no provision for that. And even there's one, what you are going to have was crisis. So why should we take ourselves to that brink again? So that we toy with what God has given us as the opportunity to have democracy, because democracy is not something that is so cheap. We could see how much it cost us to come to where we are today, in terms of lives lost, property destroyed, and a lot of things that have happened to those, some of us who fought for it, including Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself. So it beats one's imagination that he will allow this kind of situation to prevail, over common sense, or those common sense is also common. That's what people say. But he is supposed to be the one that would protect democracy because he's a Democrat. He rose through the rank. He paid, I think almost with his life too. So it beats my imagination that we will allow an opportunity to build this country, to give generations yet unborn, the opportunity to stand tall and surpass all those that today who started with us since 1960 when we had our independence. Look at Malaysia, look at Singapore, look at South Korea, look at those ones do not have 1/10 of what we have in terms of in terms of endowment, natural endowment that God has given to us, and even human capital. But the only thing standing between us and that greatness is leadership. And the only way you can have leadership that will ensure that you achieve that greatness is through credible election, free, fair, and peaceful election. But you have inadvertently created a scenario whereby anything can happen. For instance, you now say that the presiding officer has the right to now, if there is no network, to revert to manual and start counting and then collation and things like that. I mean, what do you mean if there's no network? Who says there cannot be no network? And who says we cannot wait 24 hours, even if it takes 24 hours for the network to come back? So this is the problem, that they have decided to put this country in a very, very precarious situation. I'm talking about our democracy, and also expose the lives of the INEC officials to hazard, to danger. Because if you are telling me that there's no network after we have finished, the elections, and I move some few meters away and I can have network, Nigerians are smart. They are not like Nigerians of those days ago. Now, this technology has made everybody to become, very, very effective in terms of handling and managing your life, especially things that are important to you, including elections. So, how are you sure that you are not creating anarchy at the polling stations? Because voters may not accept no network. They will insist that that network will come. They may say, we will not allow you to leave this place until that network comes. And it will happen.
Many Nigerians believe that electronic transmission of results, in particular because we have invested so much money, billions and billions of naira, in acquiring this technology.
Exactly.
And if we invested so much money in acquiring this technology, and we know we're not going to use it, or we'll use it in the breach, why did we? But the question, sir, is that what exactly is the National Assembly afraid of? Why are they not, bold enough to insist that it must be mandatory electronic transmission, not even transfer, transmission of election at collation centers to the Iroele? Why? What are they afraid of? Alhaji, what exactly are the members of the National Assembly afraid of that they would risk going against the wishes of the generality of Nigerians?
They are afraid of their own shadows.
How do you mean, sir?
That they have performed woefully.
Woefully, you mean?
Yes, they performed woefully as far as meeting the yearnings of Nigerians is concerned. Which area are you going to say that this government has performed to the expectations of Nigerians? Is it in the area of welfare or in the area of safety? I'm talking about security. So in both, the government has failed. So now the only way to continue is to ensure that you create, these loopholes so that they can exploit it and rig elections and then declare themselves winners. But they've been very, very myopic. Maybe they have not seen, or they have forgotten what is happening around us, other countries. That today's technology and all people you call Gen Zs and all this, what have you, they will take no for an answer Because if they can see that this is a fraud and in something that they know will touch and affect them their entire life, because that's what it means, so they will fight. And don't forget that the international community is very, very much interested in Nigeria, unlike before, more than ever before. Americans, Britons, other international communities, their eyes are on Nigeria more than before. And one thing they normally use to influence or take the country the way they want is elections. Once you do not have credible elections, that's what Trump used, to take out the Venezuelan president, and they have used it in other countries too. They say that, well, yeah, you're an illegal, president. You are not supposed to be there because the people didn't vote for you
To begin with.
So I don't know why they didn't, they forgot about all these things and think that Nigerians are people that they can just take, do whatever they like and get away. So my message to them, or Mr. President, is that it's not too late, because he has a chance to write his name in gold and reject what they have been sent to him, because it does not reflect the wishes of the people. And he swore that he was going to protect the interests of Nigerians, and by Quran, that he's going to protect the constitution and the interests of this country. But this one is not the wishes of Nigerians. It's not, and it doesn't stop him from winning. Even if they're allowed, except that they are afraid of their own shadows. Like I said, they can see the records. They can see that the frustration, in Nigerians, and therefore the only way to now force their way in is to give Nigerians an election that has no credibility at all, that anybody can do whatever you like. So some of us are worried because we're interested in building this democracy. And I'm always surprised that I don't know who is advising Mr. President. Really, I'm not sure they're his friends. No, they're not his friends. Because I don't know, some few months ago, I was telling somebody that I'm definitely sure that there'll be reversal in some of the policies that Bola Ahmed Tinubu has introduced, as we inch towards the elections. Because if the people you are working for are not happy, and they have told you in so many ways, there have been demonstrations against the programs. You open these social media platforms, you will see it, that people are not happy. So why should you insist on doing something that people do not want? And you want the same people to now come and say, continue. How would they continue? How would they ask you to continue? For them to live in misery, not enjoy, not be able to enjoy what God has given to them. So the point I'm making is that Mr. President is making a very, very, very big mistake to allow National Assembly to pass to him this bill and for him to now sign it into law. Because there's there's no explanation other than the fact that you want to give us an election that is not fit, for purpose.
What can the opposition do? What can Nigerians do to salvage whatever is left of this process? Very, very important process.
No, I think what can be done has been done. Nigerians have spoken very loud. They didn't mince word when they said they want transmission of results real time, isn't it? So what else do you want them to do? The National Assembly themselves, they went around, for the public hearing, and they didn't say that we have this minority people that say that they want the same manual collation that we had before, or they want a situation where the transmission of results will not be in the law. Everybody says we want automatic transmission of results, real time. So and then you now come and say, oh, when there's what do you call it, network failure? Which network failure lasts forever? Is that enough to, like you said earlier, to now make nonsense of all the trillions that we have spent, in acquiring those equipment, training people, and then also democracy itself in danger? Is it worth it? I mean, are you saying Nigerians will not want to wait for another 6 hours or so when whatever network that is out will be back? If you take even 1 hour, because when you have, and why can't you have a redundancy in your communication network? You can have a redundancy. You don't have to rely only on one network. You have 2 networks or even 3. If this fails, immediately this one wakes up, So you have what we call hot and cold. So who says we cannot do that? Areas that you think there's failure, you can acquire, and they are available. Satellite is there, Starlink is there, whichever link you want to use is there. Which is the network failure we're talking about? That today, solution has not been provided for.
Interesting. Now that the lawmakers apparently would seem to have killed the hopes of Nigerians for transparent elections, what should Nigerians do? I know I asked you about opposition.
Yeah.
What should Nigerians themselves now do? What is left for Nigerians now?
What is left for Nigerians is to protect their votes
on the day of election.
On the day of elections. And that's why I said this administration, they are putting the lives of the INEC staff in danger. And I said it at our interactive session with INEC, the last one we had. I said, if they do not make this thing to be automatic like Nigerians want, they are putting the lives of your staff, INEC staff, in danger, because Nigerians will not stop at anything if they see that their votes is about to be manipulated by anybody doing collation, saying, oh, okay, I have to carry the votes from here to another place where they're going to add them together or take it from. Nobody will buy that. They won't buy that. So Nigerians, the only thing that is left is for them to protect their votes. And it's their right, enshrined in the Constitution. You can change your policies. Who says you cannot change your policies? Those are they God-given, or are they in the constitution of this country that if you as the president, once you produce something, you cannot reverse it, or you can't take a look at it and make it human?
And they are not in the Quran or in the Bible.
In the Bible. So why tie yourself to something that, and for God's sake, who are you doing it for? It's not for the same Nigerians. If they say they don't like it, or if they are not feeling, what are governments for? You can create some other things that will make Nigerians feel, better. That this government has us at heart. But if you insist on something that you think they like, and they say they don't like it. So is it after you have been voted out of power that you realize that, oh, I shouldn't have done this?
There's a general consensus. You may not like this question, but it's my job to ask you.
Go ahead.
Many Nigerians believe that opposition is dead. That you guys only show up every 4 years and call yourself presidential candidates. And then, in fact, some very extreme views say you guys are just doing business with any ruling party in government, and that you're not really serious politicians, and you're not really working for Nigerians. Because they believe strongly, and now I'm even inclined to think so, that you ought to have sensitized Nigerians months, if not 2 years, before now, that, see, to avert a repeat of 2023, the Dino situation and all of that, and I'm still coming back to it, we need to insist now on the National Assembly, because look at it now, we have barely 11 months before that election. Sir, have opposition failed? Have you guys failed Nigerians in this, in sustaining democratic culture, in ensuring clean elections? Did you fail Nigerians?
I think it's a system that failed Nigerians.
Not oppositions.
No. Believe me, it's a system that failed Nigerians. A system whereby you have a key participant in an election. You allow the person to select the umpire of that election from the number one, that's the chairman, to national commissioners, to the state people, to the police, who is the number one security agency in the election, the leading agency in the election, to be appointed, the leaders, to be appointed by the same person who is also contesting elections. So what are you telling me? Which opposition? It's like you having a match, and the referee is wearing the jersey of one of the sides. Yes, the entire team. So where is the fairness? How can the other person win? Where is it? All the agencies that will help you, as opposition, they are all in the hands of one human being, one person who is also a participant. So how do you grow? What is the room? Where is the room for opposition to do anything? So the issue, but on this particular case you are talking about, Nigeria didn't mean word. National Assembly went round. If it was the case where Nigerians were saying, "Oh, we want manual," opposition would have come out very strongly to say, "No, no, don't go that way," because of the danger. But everybody says we don't want this. This is what we want. So if there's anything now, I think it is National Assembly that the people should ask questions, not the opposition. They are the opposition, and they are the ones that are against the people, and they are the ones that, like, we all know the problem of this country. The problem in the sense that they make laws which they know is anti-people. For instance, like this one, they know it's anti-people. They know people don't like it, but they are even worse than the military in terms of their behavior. So the fact of the matter is that some of us are very, very, very sad about this situation, that they are giving democracy a bad name. And I believe very strongly that we are going to overcome, because Nigeria is bigger than all of us. And this democracy that they are toying with, that they want to kill, will outlive them. I'm certain about that.
I'm glad you touched on something very fundamental just now, saying a contestant, an incumbent president, has such enormous powers.
Yes.
He appoints the referee,
Yes.
using layman's,
Yes.
the administrator, the
Yes.
supervisor
Yes.
of
The
electoral
security
contest,
agents.
the security agents,
Yes.
the judges that will,
Yes.
that will become an arbiter.
Exactly.
He appoints them.
Yes.
They're already beholden to him.
Yes.
I go back to the question, why didn't you guys insist that some of these things be checked? Because the National Assembly can make laws to correct them. They can amend the Constitution. That is one. You also refer to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as a Democrat. So the second question, has he weakened or strengthened democracy? Because if he's a Democrat, he would have done everything since he got into power to strengthen democratic culture. What's your take on this? Has he strengthened or weakened democracy since he got into office? And why didn't you prevail on the National Assembly to take away some of these overbearing powers that incumbent presidents such as Buhari and Tinubu use?
But which National Assembly? Like we said, we have already told you that he handpicked the principal officers of the National Assembly, and they have the majority in the National Assembly. So he's as good as an emperor, really. In fact, he's an emperor. There's nothing he wants which he cannot get through the National Assembly, so-called National Assembly. So the problem we are facing is the problem of, the irony of the democracy itself. When you have democracy in an environment that is weak by way of asserting themselves, because democracy presupposes that you can make your own decision independent of any influence at all. But that is not the case we have here. So the issue, that's why I said, the issue is that Nigerians, should ask the question. So it's a very sad situation that we have on our hands, and it's a do or die affair that National Assembly has put the entire democratic process, especially the election process, and then they have succeeded in exposing the lives of the officers of INEC, because, like I said, these Gen Zs that we talk about, the young people, the youth, will not accept no for an answer when they can see clearly that this is fraud that you want to foist on them. They won't take it. And what is it that APC-led government is saying? Is that, well, we have the military, we have the police. If we'll kill Nigerians. That's all, because we'll use force, we intimidate them, which is what they have been doing. Even during Buhari's time, that's what they do. They intimidate people using military, using police, using what, all sort of things. So the sad aspect of it is that, like we're hearing now, that the president has already signed, the bill into law, which is unfortunate. It's unfortunate, because you ask a question: how much has this president, strengthened democracy? Or how much has he weakened democracy? I think that's the question you're going to ask.
Weakened or strengthened? Which one is it?
No, I think the question should be, how much has he weakened democracy? Because the process of election determines how strong your election is, your democracy is. Your democracy is. Because accountability is very important. And when people cannot see accountability in the elections or credibility in the elections, they lose interest in that election. Trust deficit increases, and apathy increases also on the voters. So this is one sad day as far as democracy is concerned, that we have witnessed today.
Many Nigerians likewise believe that this president, his administration, they've gone overboard. They've run amok, as it were, using emergency powers. That is such a delicate issue. They use it now, like as in the case of Rivers State, when the president removed the governor, suspended him for 6 months, and also using state institutions, which you touched on, such as the EFCC, ICPC, to become, to loom over governors, threaten them, in some cases make them to, decamp to the ruling party. Exactly. Do you agree? What's your take on this?
No, my take is that we've lost, the essence, of democracy itself. Democracy says government of the people, by the people, for the people, isn't it? But this is a democracy that, the one that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has, brought about, to rule over Nigerians, is democracy that is not in tandem with the expectation of the constitution of this country. So most of the things that Mr. President does is unconstitutional. Like removal of the governor, and then the use of EFCC and ICPC and what have you, to harass, opposition. That's unconstitutional. That's not in the Constitution. The Constitution frowns, against such things. But it's been done. And where is the National Assembly that will impeach the president, that you are violating the Constitution? They themselves, they are a violation of the Constitution, because the Constitution did not say, the president should handpick the principal officers of the National Assembly. And then the Constitution, and then so many things are wrong, really. So many things are wrong. And I just pray and hope that we'll have the opportunity of correcting, before we lose this democracy, correcting all these things.
What is the action? What's the reaction now? What do we expect? What do Nigerians expect from you opposition leaders? And what kind of leader does this make, Mr. President, that there's a groundswell of opposition against this bill, yet it was passed, in a very, untidy manner by the National Assembly, hurriedly sent to you, and you quickly sent that to you. What kind of leader does it make it?
Desperate. It's a desperado. It's a desperate leader. Just want to be there forever, if allowed. So this president, don't be surprised if after second term he will not, ask the National Assembly to extend his stay for third term. They have the majority. I said, well, so what is this? What does it tell you? What does this tell you? If the president does not have enough love for the people of this country, and to behave like Democrats, which he is, and ensure the whole world that he is for the country and for democracy, by ensuring that the process, the most important element of democracy is elections, and the most important factor that builds democracy is credibility of the process itself. That's the results that you get. But if you get tinted results, which you have seen it, we know. It's not that somebody is imagining it or somebody is saying that, oh, this is what, we know what can happen and what will happen. So this is the saddest day in the life of this country as far as democracy is concerned. It's very sad, very, very sad. How can we descend so low? By allowing a process that defines democracy, to be so weakened in a way that anything can happen. Where we land now is anyway, we're like in a roller coaster, where we land is anyone's guess as far as this situation is concerned.
So with this situation now,
Yes.
what is now, because it's real now, this bill has become law.
Yes.
And that is what is going to, supervise,
Yes.
2027 elections. So will the 2027 general elections,
Yes.
would it be competitive in your view? Would every contestant at presidential level, governorship level, senatorial, would they be going into those elections on a free, fair, and credible, play field? What do you think?
Well, you see, for political parties, it's our duty to participate in elections.
You cannot boycott.
No, we can't boycott. You can choose not to, but it's not good for you as a Democrat, as a participant in the building of democracy, because you have to deepen the roots and farm it, of democracy. But with this kind of situation that we have, definitely, it's a psychological defeat. It has sent, a kind of message that dampens people's spirits, in the elections itself, because already you know that one, people you are contesting against, they have the money, isn't it? They have the officials of who supervises the elections. They are the ones that appointed them. They're answerable to them. You as a opposition, if you go to them, it's if they like, they listen to you. Don't like, they don't listen to you. They have the judiciary, because they appointed the judiciary too. So, and then to worsen the matter, they now have they so weakened the system itself, the system of election, meaning that the system of getting credible results from the elections, credible results from the election has been so bastardized. It has been made, not anything that anybody can really rely upon, because what do you do, if they say you have not won? Where do you go? How do you get the evidence that you can present? This evidence you are going to present is going to come from him, from Bola Ahmed Tinubu, appointees. They are the one who give you the evidence to go and present. Who are you presenting this evidence to? To Bola Ahmed Tinubu appointees, the judges. They are the one you are going to present your evidence to. So, and then in the event you don't agree, what do you do? Your people cannot even complain, because Bola Ahmed Tinubu has the police. He appointed them. So tell me, how one cannot be dampened, psychologically, and then, almost defeated psychologically. But history has told us that, you cannot deceive all the people all the time. It's not possible.
Brilliant. If you cast your mind back at the River State debacle, when the president suspended a sitting governor, to many legal minds, not just ordinary Nigerians, many brilliant legal minds, in clear breach of the Constitution, but yet the Supreme Court said he had the right to do so. In that entire episode, did you see constitutionalism, or was that tyranny in display?
No, I say a dictator. A dictator in the gap of a Democrat. That's what I've seen, a dictator. And maybe one thing that Nigerians are not also looking at is the issue of INEC. The Constitution says INEC is autonomous and independent, isn't it?
Yeah.
Autonomous when it comes to their finances, It says specifically that no agency of the government or persons is allowed to procure anything for INEC. They should buy their own equipment. They should build their own offices and things like that. But what did we see? About some few months ago, the president went to commission a building which is being built by FZDA for INEC. So what are you saying? Now you are going to equip the building. Who says they won't bug that building? We're not forgetting what happened in Watergate, isn't it, in America? Yeah. We're not forgetting what happened when AU wanted to build a headquarters in Addis Ababa, and the Chinese people say they're going to build it for Africa. And when they built it, what did they do? They bugged it. Every meeting, every decision that was taken there was already in Singapore. I mean, yeah, you know. So who says that? But the Constitution says don't do it, and it's going on as we speak. So we Nigerians have to really, wake up and take back this country. And not take back this country is to vote massively, for parties like Action Democratic Party. Otherwise, we are just on what do you call it? Crispy,
On the
this
edge.
country. Yes, on the edge.
I don't want you to campaign. Campaign has not
No,
started.
I'm not campaigning. I'm just saying that the alternative is there.
Yeah, there are not only ADP, there are so many other alternatives.
Oh, okay, I didn't know.
No, there are so many other alternatives. Okay. Beyond politics, I know you to be you're my friend, I know you to be a very honest Nigerian and a good Muslim. If you look at the rate of killings, senseless killings, wanton killings of lives, sir, the way lives of Nigerians have been wasted in this country, it's only someone who is satanic that would not know that something is deeply wrong with us as a people. And then we have a commander-in-chief who has so much powers to sit and preside over, the Security Council, comprising the Nigerian military, the police, the DSS, the DIA, the NIA, and all of them. Yet, tens of, have been kidnapped, killed, slaughtered, communities wiped up, and all of that. Does this commander-in-chief deserve to be re-elected? President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Does it deserve, has it performed as commander-in-chief, and does it deserve to be returned to office?
No, but I said it even before you asked this question. I said,
are we even safer today, sir, than before?
We are not at all. We are not at all. And the point I'm making is this: the commander-in-chief, who cannot hold its troops to account, is as good as no commander-in-chief. It's not a matter of giving them billions and whatever ammunition they would require and things like that, but accountability. And you talk about the wanton killings, of Nigerians, innocent Nigerians. Not only killing, but the kind of dehumanized ways they treat Nigerians, especially women that are raped, children, exposed to some horrible things. And we see it on television. They will video it and then put it on social media. And I'm sure Mr. President sees it too. And tell me, what action has been taken to demonstrate Nigerians that there's really empathy, in this government? Look at what happened in Kebbi when the bandits, attack a school. The information, credible information, is that about 45 minutes to that attack, the troops that were put there to guard the place vacated the place. Questions have been asked. Nobody has been able to offer any answer.
Who called the troops away?
Yes. So, and you see your commander-in-chief. What are you commanding in that respect, if you cannot hold your troops to account for their failures? As this banditry, this insurgency has been going on, which commander or general has been called to order that explain why this thing happened? And this is not something happening once, it's happening, over and over and over again. So you should ask now, if I put you in charge, what is wrong with you? And I'm giving you money, I'm giving everything. So the commander-in-chief maybe needs to step up to the plate by holding the forces to account for the lapses, for the killings. So this is the problem of the failure of governance.
Alaji, this is really very, very sobering conversation we're having here.
Yeah.
And I'm worried, and I'm sure you are worried, and I know Nigerians listening to us are seriously concerned.
Wonderful.
The president has spent over almost 200 days out of Nigeria in the past 3 years. We don't know how many days it will come to before next year. So if he wins re-election, and there's also an allegation, not an allegation, but anyway, it's real. The APC as a political party has taken over the entire political space. They have captured almost 80% of the senators, House of Rep members, 30 of the 36 state governors, just name it. They've taken over even the media. They've taken over the legislature, the judiciary, as you rightly said yourself. Now, if the president, by any stroke of luck or whatever, or design, win re-election next year, then what's the fate of Nigeria? What happens? Alaji, can you see into the future and tell us?
No, the situation is that the opposition is endangered. We have become endangered species, in the political arena, and it is being supervised by the president himself, because I've listened to him when he says he enjoys it. When you are losing your members, that are joining my camp, say, I'm happy that it's happening. So but like you can have all the governors, all the senators, all what have you. That does not automatically mean that Nigerians are going to vote for those people. And perhaps that's why they are making the process of results, to be so weak, and then to lose credibility, so that you can't even rely on anything, because how do you rely on somebody who is an employee of your opponent? Yeah. It's not that you are thinking that he is an employee of your employment, because your opponent employed the person. So where we are in this country, believe you me, is a very, very precarious situation. I've been using the word precarious. I know why I'm choosing the word precarious. Because it is. Care is not taken. Our democracy may suffer some untold, hardship in making progress. So I would want, I don't know, it's too late in the day. This is the only chance that I think Mr. President had, which he lost, to prove himself to be a Democrat, to prove himself to be a lover of these people of this country, to prove that the trust that people had in him, was not lost. So, what is the future of democracy in this country? I think the future of democracy in this country is Nigerians to wake up to the fact that what they have as a democratically elected government has become a tyranny. A tyranny, as far as democracy is concerned. Because it's not that they're listening to Nigerians in terms of the wishes of Nigerians, when it matters, where it matters. It's not that they respect anything in the law, like the Constitution says this. So if they don't do it, so what? They feel so arrogant. They believe that nobody can do anything. So democracy did not contemplate anything like this. Like what we're having in this country today.
Let me, give more context to this last question. Currently, like I said, President Tinubu in his first term has governed like he had a 10-year tenure, a 10-year term. He didn't govern like someone who was going to come back to Nigerians to ask for their votes in just 4 years. Am I wrong, sir?
No.
He did not govern like somebody who was coming back in 4 years to ask, to beg, because election is you beg the people to vote to pass. You persuade them.
Yes.
You appeal to them.
Yes.
He didn't govern like that.
Yes.
And like I said just now, that He has traveled perhaps a third of the entire 3 years he's been in office. He has spent a third of that period outside of this country.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure what they expect will not be anything different from what you have now, because they say the more things change, the more they remain the same.
Yes.
So I believe that there's nothing that really compels, the president to do anything different from what he's doing now. So you may end up with an absentee president, in the sense that he may even be in the country but decide not to listen to anybody. What do? Nothing. So I remember when he went to London,
Chatham House.
Chatham House,
Chatham
yes,
House.
Chatham House, where you go to present your
Yeah.
program.
Yes.
You can see what happened. He was just
When
asking
he said
questions.
it's tip sheep.
Yes.
So he will tell this person
Yes.
to answer the
So
question.
please answer the question. Like what we are seeing now.
Yes.
At every point in time, Mr. President is in France.
He's in France.
So before this time, I didn't know France is close to Nigeria,
Yes.
in terms of bilateral relationships and things like that. So it's not impossible. And but like I said, Nigeria is bigger than all of us put together. And I know that things will not go on like this.
You believe so?
Yeah, I very much believe so. Like I say, you can't continue to deceive all the people all the time, because the law of nature is such that the individual or group of people are just a passage. They'll soon pass. These two will pass, and I believe in the resilience of Nigerians, to be able to withstand, something worse than what is.
Is this not this resilience that has brought us to this pass? Because we are called resilient people, and we tolerate all these shenanigans from you politicians. We tolerate it even to the extreme that we do not know when to say enough. We don't want this anymore.
No, it's not. It's something that happens for the betterment of the people of this country, because there's no other system today that is as good, not even, I won't say even better, as good as democracy. So if we are able to maintain and sustain democracy, I think, we are in the right direction.
Alhaji, mathematically,
Yes. Yes.
do you see any pathway for any opposition, except you guys come together as a coalition or whatever? Do you see any pathway electorally for opposition parties to defeat President Tinubu in 2027? Do you see, mathematically speaking, electoral pathway to defeating APC and President Tinubu?
No, but do we have a level playing field in our democracy, in our elections? Do we have? No.
So what you're saying is that the election is won and lost already?
No, it's not won and lost.
Okay.
My only fear is we don't end up with anarchy. That's the only fear I have. Because there is a limit to anything that you want to do to the people. We will not lose democracy, because people can resist. People have that, capability and natural tendency, to resist, and they will resist when they are pushed to the wall. So that's what I'm saying. The limit. I hope we are not in any way, stretching this, beyond the limit. That's all I'm saying. Because the thinking is that, what can they do?
Yes.
They'll just make noise and then that's it. We'll just go on as usual. But it may not be so.
Brilliant. I think we've done justice to this political scenario. Let's touch briefly before we round up on insecurity.
Okay.
You are a northerner, sir.
Yes.
The insecurity that began in the north but has now spread all over Nigeria, and rather than abate, has gotten much worse. It's so frightening. The news that emerge every day on our media platforms, on social media, all of that is so frightening, so demoralizing. What do you attribute this collapse of security to? This, enormous failure in our security? What do you attribute? Is it government? Is this the system? Is it northern? What is it? What do you think?
What I believe it is that poor governance or non governance at all. Because what affects governance is poorly conducted elections.
Okay.
You know, people completely ignoring, the rule of law, which means you don't respect the Constitution. When you give people the sense of that they don't belong, because ab initio, everybody knows that the the country belongs to all of us, isn't it? So, but now, when you now come to appoint ministers and you choose the most important sector of the economy, which is the financial sector of the economy, and people lead with only one ethnic group from top to the bottom. You don't by mistake find another ethnic group heading any of the institutions, any parastatal, anything in the financial sector of the economy. So you alienate the rest of the country. And fighting insecurity means that you carry everybody along. So all these failures we're having, it's not unconnected with the fact that there's lack of governance, good governance. When I say good governance, is being sensitive to the needs of the union which we are in as Nigerians. So that's one aspect of it that I think, and that's why you see, when you talk about the banditry and what have you, all these things, okay, you may have the soldiers, isn't it the foot soldiers or things like that. You talk about the economy. Okay, these guys that are up there, what about the rank and file, who are the interface between those institutions and Nigerians? What some of them may be saying that you think they're not, they'll say, well, it's their government, so why should I worry myself, do extraordinary things to make sure the system works so that nobody is left, unattended to. And in the security aspect too, if the soldiers either they see that they can't identify as anybody that you put as their commander or something like that, they'll say, well, it's their fight. Why should I worry myself? So this is why you definitely, or you are compelled to run an all-inclusive, government, so that some of the basic needs that constitutions say you must deliver to the people, you will have them effectively delivered. Today, they have made the system to become one-party state, yes, effectively, isn't it? Under one roof. So if it fails, it's the man that is in charge of it that fails. It's not the governors. Instead of giving, what he did was to take the money away from the few individuals that they said were cornering these subsidy benefits for themselves, now giving it to state actors who are doing worse than what these people were doing before. So why couldn't he call them to order? And when you announce, at the point when you are announcing the palliatives, the withdrawal of subsidies, you said that there were individuals who were benefiting from it. Where are those things? Have they mentioned one person, since he came to power?
Let's round up, Alhaji. But these two questions are very important. And I'll still go back to this issue of state governors.
Okay.
Last year, during Ramadan, Governor Bala Abdulkadir Ahmed Bauchi, I think that's his name. Bala Mohammed. Oh, thank you, sir. He declared holiday for students because of Ramadan. So the question is that most of the northern governors hide behind religion, and abandon their responsibility to the citizens, to the poor. You agree with me, sir?
Certainly.
That is one. Number two,
certainly,
northern elders such as yourself.
Yes.
Have you really done enough to ensure poverty is eradicated in northern Nigeria? Because when we have a nation that has 20 million out of school children, there is no way there will not be insecurity. True or false, sir? So Are you preaching the gospel to northern elites like yourself, to the governors, senators, reps, that we need to focus on removing our people from the streets, give them jobs, give them education, give them skills? What are you doing, sir, northern elites?
I agree with you very much so. I couldn't agree more but the fact still remains.
Yes.
And that's why most of us were blaming Buhari when he was alive,
Yes.
that he is from the north. And North has got nothing to show.
Yes.
For the 8 years of Buhari, like the issues we have pointed out now, children out of school who are in the streets, issues of education,
maternal health, and infant
or
mortality.
or what have you. So it's about still, because of the kind of federation we're running, that you still cannot absolve whoever is the president from the blame for the lack of performance of the subnationals, because he can summon them, he can query them, he can make it difficult for them to collect those monies they are collecting. It's not an irresponsible organization that you have, that you can just come take money and go and do whatever you like. But he looks the other way. So this is the problem that we are having, because they are from the same party within. You can do whatever you like. Nobody queries you or do anything. So the situation is that of the commander-in-chief. Look at what the bandits have done to us as a nation. Like the saying that, there's a saying that if you want to bring a nation to its knees, two sectors of the economy, attack them effectively. Attack the educational sector, attack the agricultural sector. If you can bring those ones down, that country is on its knees, whether you like it or not. And that's where we are. So what is Mr. President doing in ensuring that these bandits, are fought? I mean, you said America is coming to help us. You have to help yourself. America, they have their own priorities. No America will lose their sleep if half of this world, the entire country, is on fire. They will probably say, "Oh, sorry, look at what happened to our country." But you are supposed to help yourself by ensuring that you fight this cankerworm. I mean, this scourge of insecurity, which you can fight
and eliminate it.
And eliminate it, because these ragtag people, how can they be bigger than your entire army? So the issue still rests with Mr. President, the commander-in-chief, like you rightly said. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has failed as a commander-in-chief. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has failed as #1 politician in this country. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has failed as #1 Democrat in this country. Because look at what has happened to our elections, or look at what they have, the mess that they have made of the results of the elections we are going to have. Look at the mess we are having in terms of insecurity. Look at the mess we are having in terms of giving democracy itself a good name, so that people will be proud of democracy. Is it National Assembly you look at? And he handpicked and put the managers there, the principal officers of National Assembly. Are they doing the bidding of the people, other than stealing our money, buying vehicles, buying houses, and then taking some fat allowances that you can never even, mind-boggling allowances that you can't even think about, as a normal human being. So what has he done?
Last question, sir.
Yeah.
And I'll go back to the beginning. When 2023 elections were being announced by Professor Mahmood Yakubu and Senator Dino Melaye of the PDP then raised objection, because the Electoral Act says if there is contest over election results, INEC has 7 days, am I right, to review the results and then proceed. Either they call for election. You claimed now that you advised INEC to not listen to Senator Dino Melaye, but proceed with it. Do you regret that decision? Because that's what has brought us to where we are now.
No, not at all.
Why?
No, because I said democracy.
You put us in this mess.
No. What I told INEC,
Yes.
which every responsible person will say,
Yes.
please don't give us inconclusive elections. Because the presidential election is not like any other election.
Would it not have been better to have resolved that debacle, even if it took 1 month or 6 months?
No. Wait for me. Yes. I said, carry this exercise to its logical conclusion.
Yeah, and go to the court.
Yes.
Let anybody disagree go to the court.
Yes, exactly. So when I say to the logical conclusion, it doesn't mean if we complete the collation and he announces the results, the 7 days allowed, they should not, enjoy it.
Yes.
It's up to them to now take advantage of the 7 days that are available. Nobody says don't use that window, which was provided by the law. Nobody says so. All we said was that if we didn't even conclude the election, how do you even go and use the 7 days allowed in the system or go to court? Where is the court you are going to go to? You go to court and say, well, there's no election. It wasn't concluded. Where are you? What are you coming to talk about? So that's why I stood up and said, go ahead and conclude this logically, so that we will be able to take advantage of the provisions of the law, the 6 days or 7 days you have mentioned, the fact, the provision that you can seek redress from court. You have to have something to go to court with. So that's why I did what I did.